What's up, YouTube? Tim Moose here. Now, the 2024 Blacklist has pretty much been announced. Now, if you guys don't know much about the Blacklist, it's pretty much like unproduced screenplays. Sometimes they'll actually get an out like get films made. Sometimes they don't. Like sometimes they will get produced. Sometimes they don't get produced. And because there has been a lot of movies that came out from the Blacklist. I believe Birdman was one of them as well. So now, this comes from the Hollywood Reporter saying that the annual list of the town's best unproduced feature screenplays voted on by a group of 500 film executive features, 83 scripts for writers known and unknown. Now they all include from the likes of a film about Tickle Me Elmo. I kid you not, that's literally a script. Um, to the Wicked Witch actress Margaret Hamilton's experience from filming The Wizard of Oz, which I'm actually interested. I hope that thing actually gets made. But anyway, uh, here are here are the 2024 Blacklist. Here, One Night Only by Travis Bryan. Where this is actually an interesting little premise. Two strangers scramble to find someone to sleep with on one night of the year where premarital doing the deeds is legal. So premarital, you guys know what I'm talking about. So I guess it's like I think it's a little bit similar to that. What's that Hulu film that came out a couple years back? The one where like drinking is legal. Not the bronze. The bench. That's what it's called. I think it's a little bit similar to that. But with premarital doing the deeds instead. So I don't know. That could be interesting to see. All right. We also got a script called Playdate by Marie Ulsterby. When taking her daughter to a playdate at a new friend's house, Alice suddenly comes face to face with her childhood bully, Catherine. An evening of seemingly polite dinner conversation and catching up turns into a night of psychological warfare as the two women reveal the scars of the past and the wounds of the present while their two young daughters play mind games of their own. That sounds pretty creepy right there. All right, Alignment, which is by Nathan Dalton. A board member at a booming AI company wrestles with corporate politics and warped incentives as he tries to prevent his colleagues' willful ignorance from causing a global catastrophe. Now, with AI ramping, we're going to be seeing more AI based projects down the line. We got something called Love Your Life by Julia Cox. Maya, a smart, wary nurse, is swept up in an immersive love, one that sets her life on a tragedy she never would have imagined. That could be interesting. How to Save a Marriage by Ross Evans. In hopes of spicing up their marriage, a husband and wife join a mysterious couple retreat, only to discover it's a front for a dangerous cult. That sounds cool. We got Don't Borrow Trouble by Caroline Glenn. A broke task rabbit in debt to her strange, I kid you not, to her strange sugar daddy. Uh, Holds a stolen painting she's been tasked to deliver for ransom, leading to a deadly cat and mouse chase across the weirdest corners of New York City. Okay, that's something I never knew I needed. We got something called Zaddy. 20-something fitness instructor, Ellie Noon, has been tolling away in the LA rat race for years until her luck changes when she meets an attractive older man with a mysterious past that's as complicated as his skincare routine. I don't know. That could be cool, I guess. We got Clean Break by Ryan Brennan. Mary, a hair trigger pool hustler, has her. Oh, this one actually was announced. Yeah, I remember this one was like I made a video talk about this one. Mary, a hair trigger pool hustler, has her Hodis's lifestyle all figured out until she meets Ray, a fellow pool shark. Will she challenge her way and let herself fall in love, or just kill him and make a break for it? So I don't know. Sounds like challenges, but with pool, I guess it could be interesting though. Now this one is something I never knew I needed. Tickle Me Elmo. I kid you not. By Aaron Caro. The true story of how one toy saved Sesame Street, shocked Wall Street, and tickled the nation. You know what? A movie about Tickle Me Elmo may sound like a weird idea, but you know what else I thought was a weird idea? A movie about Facebook. That's right. I remember when the Social Network was announced, because I didn't really know much about Facebook at the time. Like when a movie about Facebook was announced, I thought that was a dumb idea. I'm like, you're literally doing a film about some about a social networking site where we poke people. Like what? But Social Network ended up becoming one of the best films of that year. So I don't know. I think this could be interesting. I mean, I'm always a sucker for these type of stories, like whether it's I don't know, the founder about the creation of McDonald's, or that movie Dumb Money, which was about the GameStop stock, or maybe something like The Big Short. This could easily be one of those. But I don't know. We'll see if this actually does get made, because again, just because these are scripts that's announced is not always guaranteed they'll get produced down the line. But we'll see. Anyway, now we got film Todd Bus by Matt Eccles. In 1991, Houston, Texas mills of women's sport on the latest fashion trend, uh, which are breast implants. But when they develop life-threatening side effects, they'll need a special kind of lawyer to seek justice. This is an incredible true story of women's public health crisis, a gunslinging plaintiff lawyer, and the biggest lawsuit in America history. That could be interesting to say. Oh, we got something called The Seven Guys You Date Before Marriage by Julia Yorks. After her 10-year relationship collapses, a newly single woman dives back into the dating pool, navigating seven wildly different romantic entanglements that prepare her for her future husband. That sounds like it'd be interesting. Oh, we got something called Nasty, which, okay, that sounds like a nasty title, but anyway. By Isabella Jarosis. After an injury sidelines Dylan's ability to train for the Olympics, and determined gymnastics must regain the trust of her demanding coach while facing against a prodigious new competitor, trying to eclipse her place in the spotlight. I don't know. This sounds a little bit like I don't know, something like Black Swan, really, but with gymnastics instead of ballerina. We got something called Vanish from Samuel Franco and Evan Kilgore. 10 years after she disappeared as a teen, Violet, now 25, turns up with no memory of what happened to her. But as her family welcomes her home, it quickly becomes apparent that the past cannot be forgiven, or forgotten. That sounds intriguing. Got something called Assembly Required by Kevin Yang. During a clandestine overnight stay in the Burbank IKEA, four friends get caught in a firefight between rival criminals organization, forcing them to figure out how to save each other and the store they love so much. That could be a dream right there. All right, what's that? Hold on. Okay, what's the page? My bad. All right, hold on again. Okay. All right. We talked about that one. All right. Now we also got Test Drive by Matt Van. A down on his luck car salesman takes a mysterious stranger on a test drive, which turns into a dangerous and unsettling crime spree across the rain-soaked streets of LA. That sounds pretty interesting and fun. We got something called Bloody Mingo by Jonathan Eastley, investigating the crime scene of a potential homicide in the Appalachian mountainside. A deputy encounters a strange mountain community that claims to be haunted by an evil witch that lives in the woods. Sounds pretty creepy right there. The 13th Hour by Anna Klessen. When a group of teenagers repair an old clock with a mysterious 13th numeral, they are granted an extra hour where their actions have no consequences. So pretty much like the Purge, I guess. I don't know. It has a little bit of a Purge feel to it. Oh, we got something called Boy Knows Infinity by Adam Best. Bo Jackson gets stuck in a time loop. Lessons all learned. That could be interesting. Oh, I mean, a time loop, by the way. I'm guessing it's going to be like Groundhog Day. Hey, I'm all down for that. You know, we had Happy Death Day, Source Code, so I'm all down for another time loop film. All right, we got Decoys by Jack Was. When two cocky, self-proclaimed CIA learn they're being used as diversions, they must prove themselves in the world that they're capable of being real heroes. That could be pretty fun. Diane Destroys a Wedding by Elizabeth Evans. When her youngest son proposes to a middle class farmer, New York business icon Diana Ivy incentivizes her dysfunctional children to protect the family name the only way she knows how by creating competition. Whoever can break up the couple during the luxurious 7-day destination wedding will inherit the Ivy's Lake Como estate. Sounds pretty fun there. We got something called Over Asking by Caroline Dries. After a chance encounter with a powerful female legislator, a seemingly perfect couple begins to ask questions about marriage, power, gender, and sex. Okay, sounds interesting. We got something called Skin. When famed Beverly Hills dermatologist Amelia Williams' status begins to slip as she ages, she makes a revolutionary discovery that allows her to completely revitalize her appearance and maintain her lifestyle. It just requires a bit of murder every now and then. Oh, yay! That's going to be an interesting one there. We got something called American Monsters by Chris Grillard. A senator and his estranged son must fight to survive when they're stranded at a haunting ranch where mythical beasts from global folklores are generally engeared as a dangerous game. That sounds interesting. The Busboy by Aladzev. After a mysterious busboy manipulates his way into a job at the most exclusive nightclub in South Beach, he quickly rises through the ranks using ruthless tactics. Cool there. We got something called Fragments by Jake Moses. After a tragic accident, a young nurse finds herself blacklisted and out of work until she's. Hey, just. Alright, so I lost that one. Alright, well, let me. Yeah, close that. Alright, lost that one. Alright, or another one, we got Tony, which is actually a film about a young Anthony Bourdain. In 1975, a wayward young Anthony Bourdain stumbles into his summer dishwashing job in a province town and discovers his life's calling. Now, this is actually one that was announced before, like the kid from the Holdovers. I forgot his name. The one who played the lead kid from the Holdovers. He's actually been tasked to play Anthony Bourdain. And I believe it's supposed to be released by H24, if I'm not mistaken. So that's already, that was already announced. All right. I'm sorry. I'm on Hollywood where I always keep getting these some of these ads, like video ads that always interrupts me. Let me get back to the one that I was talking about before. Okay. All right, now the one I was talking about before, Fragments by Jake Moses. After a tragic accident, a young nurse finds herself blacklisted and out of work until she's approached by a detective with a unique job offer. Become the caretaker of for a murder suspect who may be faking his Alzheimer's diagnosis. That there sounds pretty fun. I mean, okay, sign me up with that one. We got something called Fellowship. Not to be confused, ain't nothing to do with Lord of the Rings. No Fellowship of the Rings here. By Casey Keat. A burgeoning artist is offered a once in a lifetime fellowship during luring her to the dark side of New York's elite art world. Okay, but I'm not sure. I think this might be the one that Jenna Ortega and Natalie Portman might be doing. I'm not really sure if this is the one or some, but I don't know. Say. We got something called Shout Out by Hondo Adams, a talented young pool player. Boy, lots of pool stuff here. From the Bronx, navigates the male-dominated world of pool hustling, guided by a seasoned gambler as she rises to international fame and grapples with the moral complications of the game. I guarantee you people will call this thing woke, but anyway. We got something called Stardust Queen by Joe Farron. A gifted young assassin attempts to escape the rule of her vicious stepmother and ascends to fame in the late as a late 1990s pop star. Sounds a little bit like Cinderella, but in the pop star world. We got Timeshare. We're in the not so distant future where a new technology allows an individual to protect their psyche into the body of another, thus creating a body sharing gig economy. A financially struggling married couple accepts a wealthy man's proposal to use the wife's body for a single night, but soon that decision causes their relationship and lives to spiral out of control with failed consequences. That could be interesting to see. We got Toka Lake by Mark Fleming. When Gavin discovers the girl of his dreams is actually a personal hallucination caused by a rapidly growing brain tumor, he's forced to question what's real, what really matters, and what's the best way to end things with someone that's slowly or not slowly killing him. Okay, that could be interesting. We got something called Ida. Oh yeah. A new mother finds the perfect nanny in AI. Boy, we haven't seen that many times. Only to learn that a perfect caregiver might be the most dangerous kind of horror. The psychological thriller examines the depravity between human nature versus AI nature and asks the question: could AI replace us as parents? Okay, that could be interesting. We've been seeing lots of like these AI take over the world. Like we just had that terrible one, Afraid, this past year. So obviously Megan. So I don't know. Maybe this could be another good one. Well, Afraid wasn't good, but we'll see. We got something called Turnaround. After beloved movie star Tom Adair is found dead, the outpouring grief and sympathy quickly elevates his best friend Alec Donovan to movie star status. Now Alec must contend with his newfound fame and success, and the fact that he and his agent slash girlfriend Karen Piper secretly murdered Tom and are haunted by his vengeful ghost. That sounds pretty creepy there. We got something called Crush by Micah Jones. A woman wakes up in a room with no recollection of how she got there. The ceiling descends. Sounds creepy right there. So I'm taking the ceiling probably crushes her, I'm guessing. But I don't know. It says the word crush, so that's my assumption. We got something called Detour by Will Wigger. When a feuding rap group's tour bus breaks down in the middle of nowhere, three hip hop superstars find themselves locked in a life or death struggle to survive the night as they are haunted by a group of locals with a hidden agenda. That sounds like it'd be pretty fun there. We got something called Good for Us by Alex Lerner. After surviving a terrifying home invasion with her two young children, a woman leans on her husband for support, but soon suspects that it was a random incident, and that her husband might have somehow been involved. Sounds interesting there. We got something called How by Masson of Vernenberg. All hell breaks loose when a famous but notoriously troubled actor announces on a talk show that in less than an hour he'll turn into a werewolf or on live TV. We're getting like a resurgence of werewolves, by the way. We got that new horror film Werewolves out. There's Wolfman. So it's really cool. We're getting like a resurgence of werewolves here. We got something called King of the Freshmen by Matt Bailey. During the glaring ascent of Abercrombie and Fitch, a bold CEO and his enigmatic British partner craft an empire of desire and allure, only to see their legacy unravel as a scandal of exploitations and power drains to expose the dangerous length they went to in their pursuit of perfection. That could be a dream, say. We got something called Mother Boy by a Tess Brewer. When a woman becomes trapped in a snowstorm with her overbearing mother-in-law and husband over Thanksgiving holiday, she begins to suspect that their relationship is not material as it seems. It's like Barbarian by the way of Hallmark holiday movies. I like Barbarian. This has Zach Krieger written. Oh, I guarantee you, Zach Krieger's looking at the story and be like, "Yeah, this is probably gonna be my next project." We got something called Old Souls by Hannah Stoddard and Jenny Yummer. A trio of sassy elderly women receive a unique offer from death for a weekend of youth in exchange for their lives. That could be interesting. Okay, we got something called Paparazzo. Desperate for a fast catch to help his ailing mother, an outcast partners with Willie Paparazzo, who entangles them in homicide involving celebrities. Okay, sounds intriguing, I guess. We got something called road test. A young woman, long overdue, is getting her driver's license. Finally, takes her road test, only to find herself receiving direction from a psychotic instructor who wants her dead. That sounds like be pretty creepy there. We got something called Battle Battle. When his family is murdered and child is kidnapped, a Nadira goes on an epic rampage journey to save her from the new dominant species. Interesting. We got something called Mommy's Home by James Morsani. When a 24-year-old woman is unfroze decades later in a futuristic society, she struggles to adjust while finding herself in an unwittingly target of a global conspiracy. Sounds like it could be fun there. We got something called Out There by Kate Fogg. Based on the short stories Out There, um, Meg is thrilled to meet Roger, who seems like the perfect man, disarmingly handsome, sweet, and obsessed with her. But she'll soon discover that a disturbing secret lies behind Roger's perfection, and will have to decide how far she's willing to go on behalf of her true love, even if the person she loves happens to be fake. That could be pretty cool. We got something called Rod, haunted by the death of his older mother. An antisocial man suffering from obsessive compulsion takes work as a trauma cleaner in hopes of facing his past, but the job soon begins to infest and unravel his mental state. Interesting. We got something called The Teller by Ben Ripley. Uh, a timid, overlooked bank teller with incredible slay of hand dexterity teams up with a rogue FBI agent to rob her own bank. That sounds like it'd be pretty fun. We got something called Trap by Jill Blankenship. A woman trapped in a tight cave shaft must fight to escape when the shaft starts unexpectedly filling up with water. That sounds a little bit like something like that movie Barry with Ryan Reynolds. Definitely getting a little bit of a Barry vibe. Or maybe that recent movie that came out for. I mean, I don't know. I always like these movies that takes place in one location and they gotta like try to survive it and or something about that is always fascinating to see. We got something called Termitine by Justin Varava. When a deadbeat son hires his friends to rob his own mother and father in order to pay an outstanding debt to a local drug dealer, things don't go as planned as family bonds are stretched to their furthest extremes. That sounds interesting. A friend wanting his friend, the son wants his friends to rob his parents. Okay. We got The Wrong Side of the Rainbow by Dan Woodward. This is probably one I'm more interested in. Inspired by the disastrous making of The Wizard of Oz, Maggie Hamilton, also known as Margaret Hamilton. Uh, I think I lost it again. Hold on, let me go back to it. Now, of course, this is pretty much about like Margaret Hamilton's the making of The Wizard of Oz. If you guys I'll tell you why I'm trying to get. If you guys don't remember, Margaret Hamilton, when she was in The Wizard of Oz, she during her infamous like when she came on The Wizard of Oz, she got like second degree burns. Let me try to get back to it. They'll tell it better than I could. Okay. All right, The Wrong Side of the Rainbow by Dan Woodward. Inspired by the disastrous making of The Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz is my favorite film of all time. But I won't deny that from the sound of it, it sounded like the making was like horrible. Maggie Hamilton, also known as Margaret Hamilton, fights to keep her role of the Wicked Witch while resisting the forces stifling Judy Garland's childhood. Um, Now, of course, like I said, Margaret Hamilton ended up getting like second degree burns during her infamous when she appeared first time in the smoke and all. This I'm definitely excited for. I mean, The Wizard of Oz is obviously my favorite film of all time, so I'm definitely interested in seeing a story about the creation, like about the making of it, and this is something I've been wanting for years, and hopefully someone will actually see this and actually will make this thing. All right, we also got something called Boy Girl Thing by Kyle's son. Aiden Aiden was born with a rare condition where he becomes invisible to those who love him. He struggles when he falls in love with his childhood best friend. That could be interesting. We got something called Is This You by Caitlin Fontana. Mura and her mother Jenny have always had a tricky relationship, but when Jenny starts publishing essays about her troubled daughter's teenage years, those versions of her reappear like homo feud poltergeists, hell bent on ruining the real Morris tensions adult stereotype. Sounds intriguing. Got something called Little Black Dress, while on by Elisa Weaver Nicholas. While on hiatus from filming Breakfast at Tiffany's, international movie star Audrey Hepburn is recruited by the CIA to hunt down a Nazi criminal hiding in Buenos Aires with ties to her past. That sounds weird. I just rather see. I haven't wanted that Audrey Hepburn biopic is ever gonna happen. 'Cause you guys remember like Rooney Mara, who of course was in like Girl with Dragnet too. She was gonna play Aubrey Plaza at one point. I don't even know if that's ever gonna happen. Now I think Luca Guadagnino was gonna direct that, but who knows if we're ever gonna see that. We got Film Tied Mom by Mark Bloom. When a deadly virus affects mothers and turns them in against their offspring, a father must do whatever it takes to protect his daughter from her own mother. Kind of reminds me of that little comment, like that little Nicolas Cage movie that came out a couple years ago called Mom and Dad. But instead of it's just being the mom and dad, this time it's just a mother going after the kids. Definitely feels a little bit like that in a way. We got something called Saturn Return, where Eve and Anders dated for decades. Now Eve is going to see Anders for the first time in years at his dad's funeral. Together they confront their shared past and infinite nature of love even after it dies. That could be interesting. We got something called Spin the Bottle. This has nothing to do with that recent Just Along film, I'm guessing. Convinced her disastrous dating life stems from breaking the rules of Spin the Bottle 2 decades ago. Hallie enlists her former crush to track down and finally kiss the boy she rejected that night, hoping to lift the curse and true love. Okay, sounds interesting. We got Twin Soul, where a psychiatrist and his sickly wife travel to their country cabin for a quiet Thanksgiving weekend. They will have to deal with the unexpected visit from one of his patients who claims his dead twin brother is after him for revenge. It will quickly become clear things aren't what they say. Sounds crazy right there. We got something called Vicky, which is the incredible true story of Victoria Woodhull's imparable run to become the first female president of the United States, 50 years before a woman even had the right to vote. I mean, that sounds like it'd be interesting. We got something called a Band of Wolves. After surviving a rival tribe's raid, a pregnant woman forms an unlikely alliance with a wolf. Okay, with a wolf in order to survive the unforgiving prehistoric wilderness. Sounds fun right there. We got something called Bridgehampton, by Jeremy Leiter. Richly dumped Ezra Green accidentally brings a terminally ill woman home to Bridgehampton for a long weekend with his eccentric family. Don't judge. He needs to cope with his estranged father who just got out of a white collar prison. Interesting. We got a script here called Camp Dave. In 1981, a young George W. Bush and his siblings are hunted by Max Killer while partying at Camp Dave. Okay, is George W. Bush gonna? I don't know. That sounds really weird. We got Intimacy by Sam Rubeck. A rising movie star and her struggling playwright husband meets with a prestigious director and intimate coordinator to rehearse doing the deed scenes. Over one chaotic day, power struggles, petty jealousy, and explosive accusations strain their marriage and career of everyone involved. Okay, interesting. We got onboarding. When a group of new hires gets invited to their company's corporate retreat, things quickly take a turn as they discover the only way to land the job is to survive the weekend literally. Okay, sounds interesting. We got something called Ride or Die by Alexander Vargas. A death-ridden Peloton instructor finds his entire class held hostage by a bomber during one of his live-in studio classes. Sounds intriguing right there. I'm guessing it's like Die Hard, but at a Peloton class thing. So cool. We got The Road to Cove Valley. In search of a lost family heirloom, a graduate student and his friends take a road trip to the ruins to a remote Japanese American internment camp where his ancestors were incarcerated during World War II. But after a car breaks down and a series of misunderstandings, the group must fight for their lives as they are stalked across the desert by night by an unhinged racist mechanic. Sounds crazy right there. Oh, now this is actually one that was already announced. Three Hitmen and a Baby. Now, at first when this was announced, there was not no plot details or anything, but now it looks like this is what it's about. Three of the world's top hitmen must take their most challenging assignment yet: babysitting an infant who holds the key to their survival. So this is pretty much just for the sound of it. It's like John Wick meets Three Men and a Baby, just from the sound of it here. So that could be interesting to see. We got something called Tipsy, where a young couple feeling the pressures of adulthood are thrown into a supernatural drinking game that tests their complement on relationships and more. That could be pretty cool. We got something called True Mermaid Story. A struggling screenwriter's life spirals into chaos when he becomes obsessed with telling the true story of a mermaid's life and death. Sounds fun right there. We got something called Until You. When a chance encounters thrust his two purportedly single best friends into each other's lives, they navigate the blurry lines between friendship and loves. Sounds interesting. We got something called Bittersweet Symphony. In the last days of Britpop era, enigmatic musician Richard Ashworth's quest to transform an obscure Rolling Stones cover into the iconic single "Bittersweet Sympathy" sparks a legal battle that threatens to both destroy his band The Verve and silence the song forever. It's like Almost Famous meets The Social Network. Just that alone piques my interest. We got Do Not Disturb by Ben Miller. When a bumbling pretty boy criminal screws up a job, he and his scruffy partner decides to lay low and at a luxury LA hotel where they cross paths with a British playwright and a Hollywood starlet. Sounds interesting. We got a film called Dog by Lucy Campbell. Lucas and Sophia's life in a small town is shattered when they return home one night to find their dog gruesomely killed here. Oh boy, you're gonna need John Wick here. But anyway, uh, it was in a wild was it a wild animal, a neighbor, or a sinister supernatural force from the valley? Desperate for the truth, Luca embarks on a witch hunt after evidence points to a young local boy. But as they are plunged by further unexplained malevolent events, the family unit travels with devastating consequences. Okay, sounds like John Wick if it was a horror film, really. But anyway, we got Dyersville by Will Huntington. Two federal marshals guarding the most important corporating witness in Chicago's history, a legendary gangster, are forced to reckon with their own complicated pasts and with the first MO in the history of the Witness Protection Program. Sounds intriguing. We got something called Ex-Cons. A former husband and wife jewel thief duo, now divorced and in jail, must team up to help the authorities catch the most exclusive thief of all time, their son. Okay, sounds fun right there. We got something called Golden Boy. Where like to save his strap soccer club, the owner of an SSC Napoli takes his reputation and the taxpayers' dollars on a drug on a miraculous drug addicted star named Diego Madonna. Of course, obviously famous soccer player right there. Grave expectations. After a recession hits their funeral business hard, a desperate mother is convinced by her manipulative daughter to start a risky side hustle selling body parts. That's literally the actual description right there. Okay, sounds crazy, right? Crazy. All right. We got something called "It's Not You, It's Me." When Nick and Sophie break up, just days before a lavish destination wedding, Be- um one at one of his best friend and sister, they vow to keep it a secret until after the nuptials. But what should be a simple white lie becomes living nightmare when a mythical encounter turns them into one thing they hate the most, each other. So I'm guessing it's gonna be like Freaky Friday in a way, where they like get turned into each other. So I don't know if it's gonna be like Freaky Friday, but just from the sound of it. Oh, we got something called Mildred. Years after banishing from her family, an aging matriarch returns to the family business to save her estranged children from a deadly criminal syndicate. Interesting. We got something called NDA. True a maddening day of meditation for a office harassment claim she filed. The clock is ticking as Dana as she questions the price of her sound sanity and truth. So that could be interesting to see. We got something called a payroll to mate, based on a best-selling book chronicling the true story of college sports' greatest scandal. A Dallas real estate tycoon spearheads the rise and fall of SMU's football's Pony Express. Interesting. We got a script called Right. Nothing says it's complicated like breaking your crush's arm. Set in rural Spain against the backdrop of a passionate soccer rivalry, the story follows a young protagonist, Sophie, and Gloria as they navigate their relationship. That could be interesting to say the least. We got something called Dumb. When a lonely and a socially stunted young woman mistakenly receives a severe dumb in the mail. Dang, this script sounds weird, but anyway. She makes it her life's obsession to return it to the hand it once belonged to, putting her on a collision course that will upend her world forever. Okay, sounds interesting. We go. Okay, last but not least here. We got Yellow Wallpaper, where a headstrong woman living in 1975 America descends into madness as she battles postpartum depression, a family, and a gaslighting husband, the mounting oppression, and unretreated cytosis come together to tell the origin story of a haunted house. I would like good haunted house films, so that could be interesting. But that's pretty much all there. Again, who knows if majority of these are really going to get made, but out of one of them, I hope the Tickle Me Elmo one gets made. That actually does sound intriguing. The one about about Margaret Hamilton, that could be interesting. I mean, we got some cool stuff here. Dream and Hitman, obviously, is the one game made. So let me let you guys. Which of these blacklist scripts sounds interesting to you? Are you looking for us? Like, are you even interested in the Tickle Me Elmo one, the film about Margaret Hamilton, Good for Us, Detour, Street Hitman, Baby, etc.? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Tim.